Today we got some great stories from r/TrueOffMyChest, starting with OP, who found out her husband has been sleeping with her mother. I, 26 female, have found out my husband, 30 male, is having sex with my mother, 52 female. I honestly don't know how to react. I'm 4 months pregnant and I'm trying not to stress since it's bad for the baby. I honestly had suspicions about my husband cheating. When I announced my pregnancy, he seemed happy. Over the moon actually. He was kissing me and telling me how lucky he was to have me, but now he changed. About 2 weeks after my surprise announcement, he stopped hugging me and kissing me like usual. He stopped eating the meals I'd make for him after work, and he said he already ate some fast food or something. I also noticed he had changed his lock screen, which was a picture of us. I'm not sure if that meant anything, to be honest, but I found out the truth 3 days ago. I went through his phone while he was taking a shower and I found text messages, videos and pictures. I'm sick to my stomach thinking about what I saw. I saw pictures of my mom in lingerie and he was replying with pictures of his penis saying he was so hard for her. I even saw a message of regret. He said that maybe they should stop since he didn't want to hurt me, but my mom said I wouldn't get hurt as long as they kept it a secret. But what angered me the most was the message she sent a few days ago. I'll quote it here so anyone reading this can get an idea of how serious the affair is and has been. I love you so much. More than you think. You've helped me through the passing of my beloved ex-husband, and for that I truly thank you. I know it's hard for you to keep a secret like this. For me, it is too. I love my daughter with all my heart, but she will have to accept eventually that love is love, and that the heart wants what it wants. Our hearts want each other. I thought that ever since my husband died, no one would ever love me because I'm just an old woman, but you show me to love myself and made me feel young and sexy again. Let's just keep having fun and cherishing each other. I think it's important to know that my father passed away about 5 years ago from a stroke, and my mother said she refused to get back into dating or romance because my father is her forever love and only. It's absolute BS. I'm absolutely crushed, and it's the fact that I know that they've had sex after that message because that was the night he didn't come home until 1 in the morning due to work and paid overtime. I actually threw up after reading that message. I have screenshots of the messages and I've sent the videos to myself. Of course, I deleted them on his phone so it looks like he never sent anything. I'm numb. I'm confused. I'm hurt so bad. I can't even cry because I refuse to believe it. My husband is currently at work. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed writing this. Any advice? Please, I'm desperate for just a little bit of anything, really. This baby and me is honestly the only thing preventing me from confrontation. I'm afraid that confronting them now will cause too much stress and anger, and I want the best for my child. At this point, all I want is to have my baby. Christmas is soon and I don't want to ruin it for the family. I had also planned on announcing my pregnancy that day. Please help me. A little while later, OP posted the first update. First off, thank you all so much for the support. Really, you don't understand how much it means to me to see strangers online wishing me well. I did not expect my post to gain this much attention. Around 2 hours ago, I confronted my husband when he came home from work. I told him I know everything. I showed him the pictures and the messages. At first he denied, but when I showed him the evidence, he started crying. Crying. Actually crying. He had the nerve to cry and get on his knees while holding and caressing my stomach. He told me that I would be a bad mother if I left him and raised my child without a father because a baby needs a dad in their life to fully grow mentally and physically. I honestly don't know what to say at that except that it's pure BS. I told him that I was contacting a lawyer in order to file for divorce. I had already packed my things before he came home. I'm currently staying at a local motel about 30 minutes away from my home. I've asked my cousin if I can stay with her for a few days and she has agreed. I'm getting everything sorted from there. My husband has been blowing up my phone with messages and apologies. He's told me that if I take him back, he won't do anything to hurt me ever again and he will cut all ties with my mother. As for her, I've also confronted her. I messaged her once I got to my motel. I told her I was pregnant and that she will never get to see her grandchild. She has not responded yet. I've also moved all my finances that I had in the shared bank account me and my husband had to my personal savings account. You don't understand how grateful and appreciative I am of the support. I apologize that I could not reply to all the personal messages I've been receiving as well. It's been hell. I'll try my best to update if my mother does end up replying to me. Obi then posted the second and final update. I am safe. I've been receiving a lot of messages from those who are concerned for my well-being. I am safe and I'm finally at my cousin's house. Thank you all once again for the supportive messages and replies. I would also like to thank you all for the awards. They mean so much to me. My mental health is getting better every single day. All thanks to you amazing people for offering me advice and kind words. I've chosen to cut all ties off with my mother. She messaged me just a few hours ago and I honestly don't have the heart to reply. It also made me rethink my situation. I'm so sorry for the pain and hurt I've caused you. It was never meant to go this far. I love you so much with every inch of my heart, but you are not the victim. How dare you hold this against me and take away my right to see my one and only grandbaby? You are cruel. If you do this, you will forever live life regretting. Please do not do this to me. I am your mother. I love you. I have ended it with James and are no longer on speaking terms. Please push past this. A child cannot be raised without a father or grandmother. I love you, Annie. Please call me. I cut out some more personal things from the text. I have a lawyer and I'm in the process of looking for an apartment. I have no intention on allowing either my former husband or my mother into my child's life, but I'm also afraid that my child will grow up deprived of many child-father bonding experiences. This may be my last update as I want to move on and away from all of this. As for my husband, his messages have gone quiet, which I am thankful for. My cousin has been helping me through this and is currently the only family member other than my mom and husband who know about the affair. I'm very appreciative of all the support. Nothing is as cruel as being betrayed by someone close to you, but your own mother and husband? That is just a new low. That is almost evil. I don't know how you guys felt after that one, but especially the messages from the mother make me so angry I couldn't actually get through it at first. How dare she put the blame on poor OP after such a devastating betrayal? To get upset you won't get to see your grandchild after literally ruining your own daughter's life. I hope OP stays clear from her mother for a long time. She's clearly deranged. As for the husband, a common occurrence in stories like these is that the husband always collapses and starts bawling after they get caught. What a textbook manipulation tactic. Good for OP that she didn't fall for those crocodile tears. Sure, a child needs a father figure in their life, but with the guts it took OP to escape that situation so quickly, I think the child has all the father figure they need. Now then, despite the blood-boiling story, if you enjoyed the story, make sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel. In this next story, OP's husband is not allowed to attend his own daughter's wedding. My husband is a great man and a wonderful father. I've known him for 17 years and have been in a relationship with him for 8 years. He has 2 children by his first wife. They were really young when they got pregnant. He was 20 and I think she was 19. Both raised in Catholic homes and both sets of parents pressured them to get married. This was in 1990. His son was born in 1991 and his daughter in 1993. Both being young and stupid and immature, their marriage ended in 1996. It was a typical custody arrangement. She has primary and he has every other weekend. Now, she came from a family with significant money. When it came time to file for child support, her parents supported her financially so she could cut back on her working hours to about 15 hours a week. They paid for one of the best lawyers in our area and he had no lawyer. This resulted in my husband paying an astronomical amount of money for child support in 1996. $800 for 2 kids. He ended up having to work 3 minimum wage jobs just to support himself and pay child support. But he made it work and still made time for the kids. His ex remarried someone who also had money, and over the years her and her new husband would take the kids on very expensive trips. Multiple trips to Disney, cruises all the time, fancy vacations halfway across the country. The kids got name brand everything and the latest electrics. My husband couldn't afford any of that, so as the kids got into their teen years, they kind of drifted away from my husband. It didn't help that their mom constantly badmouthed my husband to their kids either. If there were ever a picture of parental alienation in the Webster Dictionary, her face would be it. Even now when we run into her, she is nasty. One of the latest functions we ran into her, my husband asked her how she and her family were doing, and her response was, "F off." Her parents enable her. Her one sister is just like her, but the rest of the family barely tolerates her. I've met her and her whole family. I say this from first-hand knowledge and not hearsay. So my husband has somewhat distant but okay relationship with his son. We see them maybe once a while. My husband calls him at least once a week to check in, and he hears back maybe twice a month. His daughter only speaks to him if he runs into him, us, at the grocery store. She will not answer any calls or texts. She does not visit. She literally refuses to have anything to do with my husband. Last December, we ran into her at the grocery store. To be honest, I didn't want to talk to her. I tried to avoid her, but she saw me. She rushed over to show me her new engagement ring. The engagement had just happened, so the encounter had nothing to do with me. She was just excited to show off her new ring. My husband was with me, and she started talking about the wedding. It was set for November of this year. She then proceeds to tell my husband that she wants him to walk her down the aisle. I'm sorry, what? I'm simultaneously thrilled for my husband and baffled at her request. She literally never wants anything to do with her father. My husband has lamented for years about his lack of relationship with his daughter. He has tried over and over and over to reach out to her, but he is ignored every single time. It was in the last 5 years that I saw him stop trying. So when she was gushing about him walking her down the aisle, all of his hopes of a relationship were rekindled. So from last December to now, I have reached out to her 3 times asking how the planning was going. I was ignored and left on read 3 times. He has reached out to her and he was ignored. Now we are about 9 weeks before the wedding and we have not heard from or seen his daughter since December. There was no bridal shower invite, there was no wedding invitation. I ran into her fiancé a few weeks ago and asked about a wedding and how it was going, and he immediately looked uncomfortable and changed the subject. I told my husband this week that I am confident we aren't invited, despite his daughter's initial claim. He pretends to everyone that he doesn't care, but I'm the one behind the scenes who see the sadness and the hurt in his eyes. I'm the one listening to him lament about how he misses his kids, how much he wants to see them and spend time with them. For the record, my husband also has a 16-year-old son with his second wife. He learned from his mistakes the first time and insisted on a 50-50 custody when they split. He still maintains 50-50 and he has a very active role in his youngest son's life. I also have 3 preteen teenage boys from my previous marriage. Their dad abandoned them in 2016 and my husband has stepped in and has been a wonderful father figure for my kids. I've known my husband for nearly 2 decades. I know what kind of man he is. I know what kind of father he is. He doesn't deserve to be treated like this and it makes me sad for him. I know it's not anything I can ever get involved with. It's not my kids, not my previous relationship. But I can still be sad for my husband. I wish I had a way to make it hurt a little less for him. Opie then added the following tidbit of extra information. To add, I'm a professional photographer. When she gushed about the wedding and my husband walking her down the aisle, I saw this as an opportunity for me to help mend the bridge. I offered to photograph her wedding as a wedding gift. She declined and said she wanted me to be able to enjoy the wedding as a guest, so we know for a fact we were initially invited. Wow, despite it being a cruel way to treat your own dad, you never really realize what's going on behind the scenes, especially as a kid. I don't think the daughter necessarily knows what the dad has done for her so far and how hard he's working and worked to build a relationship and take care of her. I'm almost certain that the venomous snake mom is behind this. I assume that the rich parents will pay for the entire wedding and thus get to make certain demands. I wouldn't be surprised that the daughter originally meant for her dad to walk down the aisle, but was perhaps forced to choose the stepdad instead. Well, whatever happened, I at least hope that Opie and her husband can attend such an important event. But I don't think they will be able to, I'll be honest. What do you guys think? Be sure to leave a comment down below and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!